From the avenue to the river. Back in last century, the old sandstone manse beside St Andrews was eventually demolished after providing home to many Presbyterian ministers. A Methodist church was in Gell Street, and on a very hot day we'd move outside. That was before the Methodists, Presbyterians and Congregational churches united. It's history. Along the Avenue of Honour, many orchards and market gardens were operating then. Photos looking across our Bacchus Marsh basin, past 3 converging rivers, fields of market gardening, and the Avenue of Honour to the forests and the mountain range beyond. The Avenue of Honour, it's a painting by Janice Webster. The Avenue of Honour dwarfs the orchard trees. The Werribee riverfront, where the river moves benignly. There's a photo of a couple of visionaries. Graham Payne says, "My dad was visionary. He could see things ahead better than I do." William and Elva Payne and sons Jeff and Graham moved trees from their Burwood orchard to Bacchus Marsh in the late 1950s, setting up 2 orchards.
Jonesy also arrived at the same time?
Well, Mum and Dad bought it in partnership with Jonesy. We split the paddock in half.
Okay. And so what did you plant first of all when you planted it?
All apple trees.
It was 1959?
Yeah.
And then you planted everything apples?
Yep.
Yeah. And then...
Well, no, I'll tell a lie. Jeff was interested in planting a block of cherries. Mm-hmm. So behind the cool store, he bought some cherry trees off this bloke up in Wandon, and there was a fair patch of them. But it covered both sides of the middle track. And for 7 years we didn't pick anything. And the year, this is going through a drought. So in 1967, we had to make the choice, do you want the cherries to live or the apples to die? Mm. So I think we got about half a crop of cherries off the first crop they had. Mm. We didn't know how to prune the trees in modern ways like we do now. Mm. So the trees only had 2 or 3 branches and maybe half a bucket of cherries on a tree. So Graham Dawson came along. He had a 100 horsepower John Deere, and pull the whole lot out. And then we got a kid named Peter Fowles to drive the tractor and trail and chuck the roots on left behind, and we burnt them.
Yeah, right.
And then replanted all apple trees.
The era of horses was replaced by tractors. Tall 3-point ladders became replaced by hydraulic lifts, fondly known as velocipedes.
So did you ever handle the horse?
I was terrified of it, Jenny.
Yeah.
And yet I remember growing a few flowers, and the horse pulled a single furrow plough that I steered.
Yeah.
But I wasn't tall enough to put a harness on it.
Yeah, must have been a huge old thing. So when did you get your first tractor?
It would have been 1946 or 7.
Okay.
It had to be wound up with a hand. I reckon that took 20 years off Dad's life, winding that thing up. I couldn't even throw the flywheel over once.
Yep.
He'd do it for 2 or 3 minutes non-stop.
Yep.
Then we got the Fergie, and things changed after that. And
what about the velocipedes? When did you first get a velocipede?
1974.
Yeah.
And then another one in 75, another one in 79, another fourth one in 80. So by that time we'd learned a few tricks, make them a bit simpler to operate.
Well, they've been a boon.
Well, I wouldn't. I told thousands of blokes, if I had to get up a ladder at my age, I would have sold the farm years ago.
Yeah. Well, you did, though. For a lot of years, you'd put up these tall ladders. I don't know how... They must have been so dangerous.
10-foot ladders, yep.
Yeah. And three poles, not... Yeah, 3 points connection. Yeah. And then the apple bags around your neck, they would have been quite heavy as well.
Yeah, well, it depends. If you're a slow picker, it took too long to fill them.
When Waverley Farmhouse was first built, there were only outdoor toilets known as dunnies, and scarecrows failed to scare off birds. The photo shows granddaughter Molly mimicking the scarecrow. Around 2003, at Christmas time, our church had already formed the Uniting Church, and this photo was taken in Playgroup Hall. There have been many invaluable occasions since then. At Payne's Orchards, 3,000 trees were nurtured, good staff members employed, and Bill became a Bacchus Marsh councillor. But in 1975 he had a heart attack, leaving Graham and Elva to continue working the farm. Graham cared for her until she died in 2001. When Jenny and Graham married, the whole family pitched in, and the direction changed a little. Instead of supplying wholesale, the emphasis became increasingly sales on site. Kim Core took over management when Graham retired, doing a sea change in 2019. As a scout, Kim helped plant indigenous trees along Gardeners Creek, and he has planted and nurtured a lot of trees since then. At the childhood home, a remnant orchard apple tree was the children's cubby house. Future prospects are exciting, and Kim certainly has dreams and aspirations. The orchard team benefits from our heritage and adapts to climate and uses electronic and information technology and more recent horticulture and agronomy advice. It's now about enjoyment of nature, heritage, educational activity and the opportunity for people to taste genuinely fresh fruit. Kim says, we're given nature's resources. It's up to us all to better look after the environment, relish its fruits and ensure the birds, bees and frogs have homes and hopping stations, the fruit trees regenerated. We protect our crops from huge flocks of musk lorikeets. Normally they're forest dwellers, and they think we've grown the fruit trees just for them. The red river gums and others are home, lookout, rest and food for birds, insects, and as are the frog ponds and the riverfront. European and Australian bees and other insects and birds are vital contributors. Teachers and others visiting the orchards. Kim's invitation is now in 2025 you are warmly invited to picnic together as Connect 25 in the gardens at Waverley Farmhouse, 372 Bacchus Marsh Road, Sunday the 18th of May, 11:30. Hitch a ride a bike and from 11:30 on, park at the front and enter the gardens. Facilities and free sausages and drinks available. Just bring your choices and raincoats. Picnic, walk to the river or around the garden and pick fruit to take home as you'd enjoy. From the avenue to the river.